Dave Palumbo here with an RX Muscle supplement and science review. A couple of people brought to my attention that there's like a new study, or that there's like a reporting of a study that they did on aspartame. Also used to be called NutraSweet. It's found in those blue packets that usually are labeled equal. In some other countries they call it something else. But it's an artificial sweetener. It's in all the soft drinks in the United States. So if you drink Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, Diet 7-Up, Diet Sprite, everything has aspartame in it, and it pretty much tastes really good in diet drinks, if any of you have had them. Protein powders most protein companies use Splenda, which is also known as sucralose, along with something called ACE-K. So they don't really use aspartame anymore in there. Why we switched, I don't know. I happen to like sucralose taste better than aspartame. But when I used to use aspartame as a sweetening agent on my foods and stuff like that, when I was dieting for competitions because they didn't have Splenda, I liked it a lot. And I do like it in diet drinks. The question is it dangerous? Is it carcinogenic? The answer to that is inconclusive. But once again, I think it's important to take a little historical journey back in time. In 1980, I remember I was in my parents' house and the mail came. I went to the mailbox, and in the mailbox there was this little red gumball in a wrapper, and it was attached to like a little pamphlet about this new sweetener they came out with, and they wanted everyone to try it. It was a gumball flavored with aspartame, essentially, which they were calling NutraSweet at the time. And I ate the gumball. It tasted like regular sugar to me. It tasted great. And from that point on, that became the dominant sweetener, artificial sweetener at least, that people were using. Before that, they were using saccharin, which is the stuff that you still see it. It's in the little pink packets. Saccharin is disgusting tasting. I don't know how anyone ever drank anything with saccharin. I remember my mother used to drink Tab. Tab was the first diet soda ever, and it was sweetened with saccharin. It was so bitter, disgusting tasting. I would rather drink nothing than drink that, but that was the only non-sugar sweetened drink that there was at the time. But once aspartame was started to put into the Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi products, it took off like wildfire, because it just tastes a lot better than saccharin, and I think it actually tastes better than sugar. And obviously you don't get the calories with it. And it's been extensively studied. I mean, so it's been around since 1980. That's, 43 years. And there's no direct link in those 43 years to cancer, any debilitating diseases. Yes, people anecdotally once in a while report, I got a headache from eating aspartame, but there's no studies linking it to anything that's going to kill anyone. And if there was, there would have been major lawsuits that would have been pulled from the market a long time ago. I mean, it's got a lot of years of being in the marketplace to actually have been shown to be dangerous if it was. And, people make up all kinds of cockamamie, crazy stuff about aspartame. And even this study, was not a very well done study. And they concluded at the end of the study, well, it was really kind of inconclusive, but they concluded that you could actually drink, a 130-pound person can drink up to 12 to 16 cans of diet soda every single day and not have a problem. So you'd have to go over 16 cans of diet soda before you might possibly have a problem with drinking, with taking in aspartame, which tells me that, anything in excess. I remember I used to buy powdered NutraSweet, which is powdered aspartame. Because when I would diet, I would put it in my coffee and stuff like that, and I would sometimes I would just eat the stuff straight because I was so hungry on my diet. You know how people know what I'm talking about. You get crazy when you're dieting. And sometimes I would just get nauseous from it, because I think too much of anything is not good for you, because it throws the balance off in your body. Remember, aspartame is really aspartic acid and phenylalanine. It's two amino acids they put together and they just taste sweet. It was completely discovered by accident. Couple of beakers of amino acids fell on a table and someone was cleaning it up and they noticed their hands were sweet. And that's how it came about, that simplistically. So it's really a natural sweetener that they've kind of just, found that it has a sweet effect. But when you throw neurotransmitter levels off dramatically by only taking in 2 aminos and not the rest of the correct ratio, you could absolutely, I'm sure, cause headaches and stuff like that, and neurotransmitter discrepancies in the body. But evidently, this study was done to try to say it would cause cancer, and I'm sure what they did was they fed rats probably insane amounts of the stuff, and they still couldn't conclusively prove that it did anything. So my suggestion is to people out there, if you're wondering, oh, I got to stop my kids and me from drinking diet soda now because it's going to kill me, I'm going to get cancer. I wouldn't get so worried, and I wouldn't be so hasty. More than likely, this study will be disproven. There actually was a study done in France on 100,000 people who use high levels of aspartame, meaning they drank a lot of diet soda or they used products that had a lot of aspartame in it on a regular basis. And there was no conclusive, they couldn't show any correlation between those 100,000 people and cases of cancer. It just didn't exist. So that tells me, that's a pretty big, sample group, 100,000 people. And once again, they've been testing this product for 43 years now, and it hasn't come back as anything that's going to be something that's dangerous in the food supply. Likewise, I'm sure at some point they're going to go after, sucralose, which is Splenda, and I'm sure after that they'll go after the next, popular. They'll probably find something wrong with stevia, and after that they're going to find something wrong with monk fruit and erythritol. Listen, anything in moderation is not going to kill you. Okay, it's when you start doing things in excess that you can have problems. And it's not because the thing that you're taking in is dangerous in and of itself. It's because you're throwing the balance of your body off. So don't do stupid things, and you won't have stupid things happen to you in repercussions. So to summarize, do I think aspartame is dangerous? No. Do I think you should be drinking 87 cans of Diet Coke a day? No. Do I think 10 cans of Diet Coke is dangerous per day when you're dieting? No, probably isn't. So at the end of the day, enjoy your artificial sweeteners. Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle Supplement and Science Review.